let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
That's the signal. Go.
Fix.
It's beautiful.
Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Start your day with a jolt of energy and no-holds-barred opinions. This is The Rush, where Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bring you bold, unfiltered, and uncensored takes on sports, life, and everything in between. Buckle up, and let's go.
Welcome to The Rush Radio on Rush Radio, therushradio.com. Good to have you along on a Monday morning. It is January 27th. I'm Travis Justice. He is Ross Peterson. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
What's up, buddy? How you been?
You know, it's
long time.
Long time. It has been, the last time I talked to you and saw you was November 4th. No, actually, yeah, it was November 4th, the last time I talked to you. Well,
yeah,
not really.
Last time that we were together doing something like this, last time I saw you in this form or fashion was, the day before Election Day. So it's been an interesting couple of months.
What the hell have you been up to? Well, first of all, this is a new venture. This is something new. We've gone from terrestrial radio to internet radio, and it's a big leap of faith for both of us. And, you know, of course, this is a sports-centered show, which talks about life and entertainment, also other things. But we're going to talk a lot today about how we got to this place. But I know a lot of people, when November 4th hit, you went off the air and you got fired almost immediately afterwards. People want to know what you've been up to. What have you been doing?
A lot, man. I've been really busy, Travis, and I will be completely honest. When you get fired after that many years, and we'll probably talk a lot about this. Like, we saw it coming. We knew that the end was kind of drawn near. Not because of ratings. Our ratings were super wonderful. They were growing. That's what hurt, was that we were good at it, and I still got fired from that job. So, man, some depression and anxiety and things I don't usually deal with because I'm usually a pretty happy, optimistic guy. But being a single dad through the holidays with no steady income, because real estate is, as you know, an eat what you kill business, and it's been slow hunting here during the winter. So, a lot of that. But, dude, this is what really got me driven and going. I've had a lot of conversation, and I'm sure we'll talk a lot about our friends at Iowa Everywhere. Still in conversations with them about some things. So that was, what I've been doing to stay busy. Everything I can, man. Everything I can.
Yeah, it's been weird for sure. What happened on Friday was here's what's weird for me is that, people want to know how we got here and how long this has been in the works. And I've taken some, and if you can turn your microphone up a little bit, I think people, I've taken some blowback on social media and because I resigned on the air on Friday. And it's probably not the way I wanted to do it. And more people are mad at me because I didn't give Sean any heads up. And first, let me say, Sean and I talked this weekend a lot because there was some stuff that I was just communicating to him. But it was one of those things where I'm not Keith Murphy or Andy Fales, right? And they got like a month-long send-off or a 2-week send-off because they're Murph and Andy. And they earned that over 15 years.
I was just going to say, because they earned it.
Yes, very much so. The truth is, I kept Sean out of the dark or in the dark for a couple of reasons. Number one being, if Sean is like running KXNO right now. And the truth is he talks to management every day. They rely on him for a lot of things. And if I would have told Sean, he might have been under an obligation to tell management what was going to happen. And I didn't want to put him in that kind of situation. And if he did tell them, or if he didn't tell them and they found out that they knew about it, that could have made things even worse for him. There was no easy or proper way to do what I was going to do because I wanted to thank our listeners, the people who listen each and every day over the last 14 and a half years, something you never got an opportunity to do. right? And Justin Miller, who's going to join us around 7:30, never got an opportunity to do. So it is. It was one of those things where there was no easy way to do it. I felt bad that I did it to Sean, and it wasn't personal, but I wanted to go out on my own terms. Ross, you never got that luxury, and I apologize for that. And I would have loved to have you on a Monday just to say goodbye to somebody, right?
Yeah. I wish I could have been. And this is part of what that is, I guess, not saying goodbye by any stretch. But, yeah, Travis, that was a tough bridge for you to be able to cross. I know that. And didn't want to burn any bridges there. And there was no way to do it without doing that to some people or hurting some feelings in some way. But anyway, we're here. What I've been doing the last couple of weeks is hustling like hell to make sure that we were able to do this. And a big thanks to your son for helping us get over a bunch of hurdles with the technology side. So I'm excited, man. I'm ready to have fun and get this thing going.
Well, you mentioned the technology side.
By the way, yeah, we're learning on the fly. If people can't tell, they said my volume was lower. Is that better now?
It's either a YouTube thing, and if you want to listen, by the way, there's a couple of ways to listen on YouTube, or you can just go to therushradio.com and just click the listen live link. But a lot of people think we've been planning this for a number of months. A lot has happened in the last 24 to 48 hours just to get us to where we are.
A lot's happened in the last hour to get us where we are.
Very much so. A lot of people were shocked that we didn't go to Iowa Everywhere. And we want to bring up the Iowa Everywhere folks because we're good friends with Murph and Andy. We're good friends with Chris Williams. John Liebel's a friend of ours.
There. Right.
Yes.
If they're involved with Iowa Everywhere, they're good people, and they're guys I'd consider friends.
But it was one of those things where we wanted ownership of our thing. We felt kind of watching everything that we could do this on our own.
And Trav, that was nobody's going to be surprised. Chris is one of my best friends, like you are. He's like a brother. I've been in constant contact with Chris about stuff. This is the best analogy I have. Chris saw the Titanic sinking, and he started to build a lifeboat. And you can only build a lifeboat one seat at a time. And Chris has built the lifeboat as quickly as he possibly can. And he's filled those seats as guys have been chucked off the boat. But they weren't, that lifeboat wasn't ready for like a daily element because that's not the way that they're growing. They're growing things very methodically and slowly and doing a wonderful job. When I got thrown off the boat, I needed a partner. And it turned out that the best way for me to be able to do that was build our own boat. And we are definitely tied to that Iowa Everywhere raft in a lot of ways. Those are our friends and our buddies, and we are certainly rooting for them. I envision having Chris on here as like our cyclone expert or cyclone insider type of guy, like we have Justin coming on. So anyway, that's kind of how we ended up here, and we are certainly rooting for those guys, and they're our buddies. And you will be hearing me on Iowa Everywhere as well. And
to Sean Roberts, I wish Sean the best of luck because Sean started with us in 2014, was it? Was it 2014? I think right around there. You brought him on. You brought him in and said, "Hey, I see this kid. He's got potential," and he moved to the afternoons. Ran a great show, and now he's going to run a morning show. Nothing but best of luck to Sean because he's worked his butt off to get to where he is. So it's a new venture. And this show is not going to change very much. What you heard for many years on KXNO is going to be just right here each and every day. Easy to find.
This is the biggest change, okay? Because we did this for years. This exact thing where we would do a video call. So this looks and feels just like it did for me a couple weeks ago. Here's the biggest difference. I have this nice studio. I've got like my radio. I got it all decorated. Got the woman's touch. Courtney came and helped me get everything situated just right. Travis is doing this from his dining room.
Yeah. I'm in my dining room.
That's the biggest change is that I actually am in a nice studio, and Travis had to do some makeshift stuff. But you're working back to the flooded basement will be back, and people will be able to see the beauty that is the Justice Home Studio?
Well, people go, well, that flood was back in May. That's true. But, we're slow here. And the truth is, Owen's got it all framed up down there now, and it's going well. It's probably a couple months away before we're able to broadcast in there. But, we had to get this thing on the air. It's not easy. It's not easy
now we
to
get
do
to see
stuff
the
like
Rembrandt, so that's good. Is that a Rembrandt?
I don't know what it is. No, we got that. My wife got that for me on Etsy for Christmas one time.
Oh, it's an Etsy.
It's an Etsy. It is actually, it's a religious picture. It's St. Francis. Because I need the holiness around me. I need a lot of help that way.
Yeah. Trust me, but here I'll tip it up here. We got Jesus proud
Look at
here
that.
also. Look at that. See that?
Jesus is with us. Jesus is with us.
Man, baby, with me all the time.
We do have some people to thank though, because this just doesn't happen. We're learning on the fly. We're doing a lot of stuff, but Jeff Klein over at Choice Creative has been a big supporter of ours, and we've partnered with the Choice Creative Group to help us get this thing launched. And they helped us with the website and stuff like that. So I can't thank Jeff enough.
Yeah, a lot of the hurdles that we couldn't clear in this amount of time, they helped us get through, and that's been a huge help. Jeff's been a good friend for a long time, man. He's a great guy. He's one of those dudes I go to Vegas with. Did you know that, Trav?
No, I had no idea. Really?
That Vegas networking group, I call it.
Speaking of Vegas, did you see Trump at Circa over the weekend?
Dude, that was floating around those text groups. It was like, is throwing craps with Trump a bucket list item? Because I will tell you, for a lot of conservatives or dudes that are just gamblers, that's a bucket list item.
Can you imagine? You're just sitting at Circa, which is an amazing sports book, amazing hotel, and all of a sudden you're like, what's going on? What's going on? There's President Trump just walking around.
Trav, that's a good point. That's because you would feel that. You'd feel that buzz get to you before anything. You would feel like people's heads turning, almost like a fight. You know what I mean? You'd feel all the attention being drawn to one place. Then you'd look up, and there'd be that moment of like, that guy looks like Donald Trump. That's the president coming to shoot craps.
I mean, that's wild.
Oh,
that's absolutely
dude.
wild.
That's off the charts wild. But hey, 2025, baby. Buckle up.
I mean, is that one of those things where he's in his limo and he says, and you're just driving your Secret Service people nuts because you're like, hey, pull into Circa. I want to go say hi to everybody.
Well, that's got to be like pre-planned for.
He seems like the type of guy that would just say, pull over. I'm going to go hang out.
He's the type of dude that absolutely does that. Yeah,
because there's. If you know where you're going to be, people plan for stuff. He's probably like, they don't know I'm coming. Nobody's going to be prepared for this. I'm just going to walk in.
I don't know. You're right that he is a fly by the seat of his pants kind of guy. No doubt about that. Don't they have to be able to beef things up? Don't they have to have some? They got to have a heads up that the president's coming. They got to have something that says, "Hey guys, this ain't Dana White walking through." I mean, we've had assassination attempts on this man, and he's the most important person on the planet. I don't think it can just be like, so you guys thinking Binions or
or did he just get the urge
today? All right, want to go down to the D for a little bit?
Did he just get the urge to play craps? I mean, it's like, I've been at a table for a while.
I want one of those frozen drinks from Fremont Street, guys. How you feeling? You guys feeling frozen drinks from Fremont Street? Little hidden pizza today, huh, boys? How you feeling?
Oh, man. I just watched that video. I'm like, I wonder if he's going to put, a Hyundai on the Cyclones. They're 1.5 point favorite tonight. He wanted to get that bet in as they play Arizona. That is absolutely crazy. Just to let, this is a radio show. And so I want everybody to be aware because, during our old show, we would take a break like 3 times an hour. we're basically going to take a break, and they'll be short today because we don't have a lot of commercials lined up. But we're going to take a break at the bottom of the hour and the top of each hour. So that all stays the same.
Yeah.
You're probably wondering about how you interact with us. And that's very simple. If you're watching on YouTube and watching on Twitter right now, you can easily just leave something in the comments section. And the comments are coming up, and a lot of them are about the audio right now, but it seems to be we're getting that worked out as we go along. But you can also give us a call at 515-517-2303. That's 515-517-2303. How about social media? Real quick, you can let me get rid of that real quick. Because now I'm running the board. Now I know what you had to go through, Ross. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've had a lot of people subscribe to the YouTube channel already, which is very much appreciated. You can follow us on X, which is at Rush Mornings, and of course, like our Facebook page, and always go to therushradio.com.
You started to thank some of the people. We should probably thank some really important people as well. Including Willis Automotive and our friends over at Willis, because without them and kind of being our title sponsor, we might not be here today. So big thank you to Willis Automotive. Bruno, of course, will be joining us on Thursdays again. And big thanks to Bruno and El Bait Shop and High Life Lounge and our friends at Central City Liquors. They were they were like the first ones to jump up and say, "Hey, man, we're on board. Let's do this thing." So big thank you to the Duex.
Yeah, because that doesn't happen without sponsors. I mean, we just can't.
This would be fun.
This would be fun.
We wouldn't be able to do it.
Just to let you know, when you do call in at the number, and that's what's funny. I remember the old number really well. I don't remember. I don't know this one too well yet. 515-517-2303. Today, and today only, you're going to get a call screener. Owen's in there screening calls, and we got calls coming in right now. And you know what? It's only fitting that he's the first caller. He just recently got married. It's our good buddy Mick, better known as Jeep Stud. Mick, welcome to the Rush. What's going on, buddy?
Pretty good there, Travis and Ross. Great to see you guys back in action. Love it.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, congratulations, Mick. Really happy for you, buddy. Congratulations on the marriage.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's been about 6 years coming, but we finally got her done.
I was afraid he was going to say, it's been about 6 years since we got married. I was like, what?
My question, did she force your hand, or did you finally, were you like putting it off as long as you could, or did she force your hand?
No, I just kind of decided it was time. There was nobody else I would rather spend the rest of my life with, so I just decided to do it.
True love. Well, you got the first call to the Rush, Mick. You've been with us a long time. I mean, this goes back to when you did the ice bucket challenge with Ross, and you've been loyal ever since. Now we're going to have to get you a Rush flag because you've been known to, go take that Jeep and go to exotic places around the country. We need to get you a Rush flag.
Yes, very much. In fact, kind of wish I'd have it for this next weekend because I'm going to Nashville and going to the Ryman Auditorium and the Grand Ole Opera, and was planning on flying that other flag, but I would rather do yours.
Oh, then we will I'm going to do what I can for you, Mick. Okay.
Yeah, or call Harlan Flags. They used to be an old sponsor. Yeah, they might be able to do something for you.
Kevin's still out there kicking butt, man. Absolutely, that's who I'm reaching out to.
All right, Mick.
Thanks, Mick.
Call anytime, buddy.
All right. Well, thank you, and best of luck in your new adventure.
Thanks man.
Buddy.
Appreciate it. Always good to hear from Mick. 515-517-2303. Let's go to Ed. Ed, welcome to the Rush. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, fellas. Just wanted to say congratulations, Travis. Congratulations, Ross. Real excited for the show. Yeah, you guys are awesome. This is awesome. That's super stoked. So,
thank you. Ed.
Congratulations.
Bro, thank you very much, man. We're really excited.
I was thinking maybe a fun, cool way to engage with passionate Iowa and Iowa State listeners could be the most passionate of those folks, of course, have the personalized license plates with like Iowa, and they'll say something like off to Kinnick or something like that. You have folks take pictures and post it on the social medias, and then, I don't know, another way for them to show their pride and get involved with you guys. It might be fun.
Appreciate it, Ed. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, buddy.
The license plate thing, I actually had a friend. I'll be doing a daddy-daughter dance with him next weekend. But
really?
I had a friend that for a long time was collecting photos of Iowa and Iowa State license plates. And his idea was to create like a table book or a coffee table book, a coffee table book where people could sit there and flip through all these different Iowa and Iowa State themed license plates.
It's kind of a good idea, isn't it?
There are some really creative ones, but we've talked about this, Trav. Like, it is honestly a pet peeve of mine when people waste some of their space to tell you the same thing that the license plate already tells you. Like, they have an Iowa State or an Iowa themed plate, right?
Yeah.
Well, then it says Hawk fan. Well, the plate says you're a Hawkeye fan. You have 7 characters. Be more creative. Am I crazy? Like, it's so redundant to me when somebody puts like, 5-4 Psi or whatever it is they do. You're like, yeah, we knew you were a Cyclone fan. It says it right there on the license plate. It says Iowa State Cyclones.
I like the coffee book idea, though. But you wonder how many there. Could you fill up a whole coffee book? That's the big question.
Would people really want their license plates? Like, a lot of people are cautious about that anyway. You know what I mean? If I'm doing films at a home, if I'm doing promotional videos or something, and a car is in the driveway or in a garage, I intentionally don't shoot the license plate because I think people are nervous about that. Am I crazy?
Chris says, same Ross.
Thanks,
someone
Chris.
driving a Mustang and the vanity says Mustang.
Yes, exactly. Like, yeah, the pony told me it was a Mustang. I didn't. The words right above the plate say Mustang all the way across the.
Or the Corvette where it says Vet 14. Okay, you have a 2014 Vet. Thank you. We're down to that.
I will say this about the year thing, because I'm an idiot when it comes to cars. An idiot. I know where the gas goes and how to drive it. That's it. And so when somebody has like a 57 Chevy, for me, when I see that 57 Chevy, I go, oh, okay. I did learn something from the license plate.
Hey, look who's listening this morning. Our good buddy Willie Farrell.
Willie!
Willie Farrell, one of the funniest men you'll see ever if you go to a comedy club. And he's just to the point now, he's such a seasoned comic that he doesn't even have a routine anymore. It's just kind of just get up there and do the Italian thing.
If you're real astute when you're at Willie's show, you'll hear him intermingle some of his some material and bits into his crowd work. But yeah, Willie's the best at crowd work I've ever seen in my life.
And he asked on social media if he could come on the show someday. Willie, you can come on anytime you want.
Damn right.
That's one of the interesting changes that we're going to have here on therushradio.com. And, before we would get, hey, you can't have this person on because they're not spending money with us. The truth is, we can have anybody on we want, which is really, really nice, right? I mean, if it's making news
like this now, Trav. So we've got our logo out there, and my friend Gary wrote to me and said, "Hey, man, swing by the house." And my first response was, "I've fallen for this before. You're a process server. I'm about to get sued." He's like, "No, come by. I got something for you." And he gave me this.
That's cool. That is super cool.
So Gary does his own laser engravings. And so this is something I wouldn't have been able to do this before. Say, oh yeah, by the way, that's my buddy Gary. He does laser engravings. If you want to give him a call, he can do stuff for you. He can make you a Travis and Ross the Rush cup if you want one. I have one for Trav, by the way.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
But I live 100 miles away, so it's going to be hard for me to get it.
I've made the drive. I know where you are.
Kara says this on X. Congrats, my dad is quite literally obsessed with the two of you and excited to hear you back together. Currently trying to teach him YouTube.
All right, Kara, here's what I did for my dad, because trying to get him logged into YouTube was a no way. But if you go to his smartphone and you just pull up therushradio.com, then you can set that page to his homepage, and it looks just like an app. It's a button on the homepage. He can click it, and then it takes him right to therushradio.com, and there's the listen live link, and then scrolling down obviously is the video link. So that's how I set it up for my dad. I guess I haven't heard from him to know that he's watching or listening, but
because he's like, my son's on TV.
Trust me, his son's on his phone. I'm not on it because I got there last night and he's like, all right, walk me through this. And so I set it up and he says, now, Doug, that's my brother-in-law. He says, Doug tells me I can put this on my TV. I said, yeah, you can. And then he says, is it going to mess with my direct TV? I said, well, yeah, you're going to have to use the other remote. And I just saw the thing shut down like, nah. I love you and I'm proud of you, but I'm not messing with the direct TV. Don't love you that much.
Brian asks, and this is a good question as we go down this, is an app coming? We're crossing our fingers. The app is actually being developed, but because we are an online radio show, we can't play music, okay? Well, we could, but I'd have to go get a music license, and then I would have to track all that music, turn it into the music industry stuff, and I don't want to do that. That's just way too much work. So the music you do hear on the show is what they call royalty-free music. Like, Ross, hit your little royalty-free. Here's Ross's. So we can play that because it's royalty-free. We can't play like Tom Petty and stuff like that because we don't have the luxury of doing so. But Google is a little nicer, or Android. Apple, you have to go through this process that we're going through. So there's no guarantee that Apple will approve us because we have submitted it as an online radio station. We've got documentation that says we're only a talk show, all that stuff. So we're crossing our fingers. We should know back hopefully soon. But if not, and again, we hope that's not the case, but if not, you can always listen live at therushradio.com. And we've had questions about the replay of the show. So if you go to therushradio.com and hit the listen live link, even after we're off the air, this show will loop for 22 hours. It will constantly be playing on therushradio.com. If you are a person who likes to get their replays from a podcast, and they will be up as well. My first, believe it or not, I told this to Ross this morning, and he couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. My first email this morning, congratulations, your podcast is now on iHeartRadio. I can't make it up. Can't make it up. So we are on the iHeartRadio app, just to let everybody know. And we are also on Spotify this morning. So we've been approved for Spotify and iHeartRadio, but we're still waiting for, again, Apple dragged its feet on everything. 515-517-2303. This can't be the case, can it?
What?
Derek, welcome to The Rush.
No!
It is the case. How about this? The country club, the East Sider, and the crazy conservative cyclone all on one location. Boy, the legends are back.
How you doing, man?
How we doing this morning? I couldn't be better.
Is this weird for you? Did
Like
you have to learn a new phone number?
Yeah, I had my old lady put it in my phone last night. Peterson was sending me video or messages. Does he not realize I've had two phones since 1995 and both of them were flip phones? I can't see that stuff. But God bless you, Peterson. It's nice to hear you again, my friend.
It's good to be heard again, my friend. Yeah, Derek. So Derek was one of the first people to reach out to me when I got let go in November. through a mutual friend, Derek got my phone number and reached out to me. And so I told him, I said, man, I'm going to land somewhere. I'm going to do something. I'll keep you in the loop. So I had this classic text exchange with Derek, Travis, where I sent him a message. And the first thing I said was, Derek. And I got back, what? W-U-T.
Hey, Peterson, I'm not that advanced on this technology crap, bud. Anyway, I'm glad, boy, I drank a lot of beer that day you got let go, but I wanted to plant somebody right in the concrete. But anyway, it's glad you're back. I hope this new venture's great. Now can I talk about my clones?
Go ahead.
You can, man. Number 3 in the AP poll.
Yeah, we're, I think Coach Oates had to chew a little butt there at halftime Saturday, but boy, we look good. Tonight's a tough game. I just wanted a split out of Arizona. I know I'm going to at least get that, but we might have something for Arizona tonight. You never know. Don't worry, Peterson, my friend. If the Hawkeyes win 3 more games, they're going to be back on the bubble. So,
hey, Derek, I
had to pick on you a little bit, buddy.
Thanks, brother. I wouldn't have it any other way. You know that. I think that an expectation of a split coming out of Arizona was completely fair. Going down there as a top 5 team. I mean, that loss at West Virginia, it's just such a weird place to play and get to and all sorts of things. And, by the way, DeVries doing one hell of a job with his club down there. So I didn't think too much of that, and I do think this road trip, going down there, spending this much time in Arizona, if you could win one, lose one, that's great expectation, and now you're playing with house money.
As long as we finish the season with 5 or 6 losses, I'm good with that. But
5 or 6? Wow. I think they do better than that.
Well, you could, but we got to go at Houston, and we don't get them back, and we got to go at Kansas next Monday.
Yep.
Yeah, we could. We could only lose 3 or 4. Who knows? But yeah.
All right, Derek.
Hey,
good
good luck on you. All right, see you, friends.
See you,
buddy.
The show's official now, right? I mean, the show is official.
We've heard from Mick. We've heard from Derek. I mean, it's old times.
515-517-2303. That is the number to call if you want to join us and participate in the show. We do have a lot to get to. Justin Miller is going to be joining us coming up around 7:30. We're going to find out what's going on with Justin Miller. And, so we're going to take a commercial break. It's a short one. It is a minute long. So just stay with us, and we'll be back right after this.
Hey, Brian, I'm thinking about wooden nickels.
What? What the heck's a wooden nickel worth?
Free ice, free lime, any number of things. Collect 10 or more and you can save money off your next purchase.
How do you get these wooden nickels?
We're going to give them away with a purchase, kind of like a reward program.
Why not a reward card?
No, it's got to be a wooden nickel.
Why a wooden nickel?
Because I already bought 10,000 of them.
What?
You figure it out. By the way, I also got 10,000 more on back order. It's going to be huge.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And wooden nickels. Nickel, you gave me a great idea.
What happens when your passion for beer meets the people who make it? It's El Bait Shop. Our relationships with breweries help us find the best beers, and is also why you'll find them here first. Over 260 beers on tap, 100 more in cans and bottles. Know what you want, but not by name? El Bait Shop's knowledgeable staff will find the beer you're craving. Do you want the very best American craft beer available as much as we do? There is only one place to find it. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd Street, downtown Des Moines.
Welcome back to The Rush, where Ross questions Travis's age and Travis questions Ross's life choices. Powered by Willis Auto.
What are you laughing at?
Where Ross questions Travis's age and Travis questions Ross's life decisions. First of all, I know how old you are, old as hell. Second of all, I know how crappy my life decisions are. I don't need reminded.
I thought that was perfect, actually.
Butthead? That's hilarious.
Oh. Yeah, I want to thank Dave Lubbers, former ESPN producer and extraordinaire. He does some voiceover work, and I said we were sitting last night, and I go, God, hey, we need some we need to make it sound like it's nothing changed. We need some bump backs, right? I'm like, so we put some of those together, and he got in his voice booth last night and sent a couple of those.
That's very cool of you. Thank you, man. That's perfect.
Just a quick reminder, Justin Miller going to be joining us coming up in just a little bit and around 7:30. And just if you want to follow us, you can do so. I got to get used to all this stuff. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. A lot of people watching on YouTube and Twitter right now. The Twitter handle is Rush Mornings. You can like our Facebook page. And don't forget, you can always listen all day long. That's right, all day long. At therushradio.com. Just hit the listen live link, even when we're off the air, because this show will be streaming for the next 22 hours after we're off the air. Do you watch?
I want to share with you my wooden nickel. Look at that. One of the many. Whole bevy of them back here.
515-517-2303. Did you watch Kansas City and Buffalo last night?
I did. Yeah, I watched both of those games yesterday. You want to start with Kansas City with the Chiefs game?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you got a team now who's trying to become the first team in the history of the National Football League to win 3 Super Bowl titles in a row, which is incredible. I think the most controversial play yesterday, because everybody was talking about the refs coming into this. The refs are in favor of the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City gets all the calls. They got a pretty darn important one yesterday on a 4th and 1 with Buffalo, where Josh Allen appeared to get the first down. They went to the replay and didn't rule it a touchdown, or didn't rule a first down. Kansas City then takes that ball and marches down to go up 29-22. That was huge.
I mean, Trav, even as a Chiefs fan, at some point you have to watch this and go, man, we do get the benefit of this. In that last round, Patrick Mahomes and the roughing the passer penalties and the personal fouls that get called, it does feel like that that conspiracy theory of the script is out. Man, it's easy to watch these games and fall into that. I don't think that's the case. I don't think the officials go into these games and say, all right, we're going to make sure that Kansas City wins this game. I do think that the eyes are on Patrick Mahomes, somehow more so than they are for other quarterbacks. I don't know why that is or how to describe that, Trav, but he gets calls and they benefit from calls that other quarterbacks don't get. And that all aside, this is an amazing thing that we're seeing. Patrick Mahomes is so special, dude. Going into that fourth quarter, again, like that inevitable thing. Tell me you weren't watching that game going in the fourth quarter. First of all, going, we're gearing up for an epic fourth quarter. But second of all, Patrick Mahomes is going to win this game. Patrick Mahomes is going to win this game. I mean, even when they scored, and man, I don't remember how many, it felt like maybe 4 minutes left in that game when they scored. And you thought, well, Buffalo, maybe that was a little bit too much time. In my head, the chess move instantly goes to, even if Buffalo scores, Patrick Mahomes is winning this game.
I was actually thinking, and it wasn't that Patrick Mahomes was going to win the game. I was starting to think whoever got the ball last was going to win the game, right? And the truth is that the Chiefs came with a different defense, and you heard Tony Romo talk about it in that they came with a corner blitz on like that one of that last play. They hit it. They didn't. The Bills didn't see it coming, and it was disguised perfectly, and it just threw them off. And Jason says, so tired of the Chiefs. The Chiefs have now reached Patriots level, where they've won so much, you are sick of them.
Yes. This happens with everybody. This happens with every team that wins. Travis, it's amazing that because I guess I had not really thought about that correlation to the Patriots with the Chiefs, because they haven't had this. They're dynasty level now. Certainly, I mean, now they've been to how many straight conference championships was that?
This was 7. 7.
And we talk about how the Braves were a dynasty. Despite not winning multiple World Series, the Braves were a dynasty because of their dominance of the National League for so long. This is a dynasty, absolutely a dynasty, and it is kind of fun to see excellence at this level. But I'm with Jason. I think most people, you get sick of that. What's the line, Trav? Familiarity breeds contempt.
Okay, well, let's use all sports. Cowboys got sick of them when they were winning. Let's use football. People got sick of Nebraska. People got sick of Miami. People got sick of USC. They got sick of Alabama.
Yeah.
People love a story until they don't love it anymore. Right. It's like I've read this book a couple times.
Dude, we do this with again. We've had this conversation a lot. We do this with celebrities. It is the build them up, tear them down, build them up, tear them down.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah, I mean, think about Taylor Swift, right? Yeah. And they're going through that. 515-517-2303. Let's go back to the phones, and we are going to Justin in Urbandale. Justin, welcome to The Rush. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Justin.
Welcome back. It's weird to say that, Travis, because you were just on the air Friday. But Ross, man, it's good to hear you, and I'm excited for this new platform here. Most of all because, I love what the Iowa Everywhere guys are doing. Their shows are great, but they don't take calls. I've been tooting that horn for a long time. You guys still take calls, and that's the best kind of radio there is. I know this is not on the Chiefs here, but I just wanted to say, Travis, you caught a lot of flack for the way you handled it on Friday. I would have done the same thing. What employer is going to give you a little bit of notice before they fire you? Nobody, right? So
yeah,
I think you did the right thing, and I'm looking forward to what this thing does here.
I mean, does it sound any different? I mean, Ross asked me, what does success look like today? I go, I just want the show to sound the same. I'm not, if you watch us on YouTube, we're just doing what we did every single morning. I want it to sound the exact same way, but we can kind of add different elements. And I mean, as you listen today, can you tell any difference? I don't know if you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening on online, but is the show any different than what it was 2 months ago?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm a YouTube guy, so yeah, I am watching on YouTube. I always wanted to get a insider's look at your guys' stream while you were doing the radio show.
This is it.
And now we got it, which is kind of cool. So I was caught there going, wait, why am I watching the radio show here? I got to get up and get some coffee. So, but no, it doesn't sound any different, man. It doesn't sound any different at all. In fact, I think the Central City Liquor commercial was pretty cool. The dude's dog, Nickel. Yeah. So I'm learning things, and I'm excited for it all, man. Let's go.
That commercial it absolutely embodies what Central City Liquors is. That the feeling that you got from that commercial is the feeling you get when you walk in Central City Liquors.
Justin, thanks.
Justin.
Go ahead.
Listen, looking forward to some Hawkeye talk too. Not Hawkeye talk, but like the sound off type kind of thing. So, I hope that continues on too. Maybe if Iowa gets their butts going in basketball, maybe we can get a couple of after shows for those too.
Never know.
Is there actually enough care for
Not right
Hawkeye
now.
basketball to do that?
Not right now.
No, there's not. I mean, we couldn't do it. We at one point in time, Trav, we actually pitched doing a basketball sound, post-game basketball show, whatever that would be. And at that moment was when people were kind of fired up about Hawkeye basketball for a hot second. That's gone. That's long gone.
Yeah, it's one of those things where apathy has just set in so much.
Even Fran defenders, dude. People that for years. Yeah. Great point. Brian, yes.
Brian says, I miss Hawkeye basketball. By the way, Mike says, sounds the same to me here in Florida. So we have listeners in Florida. That is exactly what we want to hear. Exactly the same show. Travis didn't realize that you didn't give the big boys notice. I didn't know what to do. There was no easy way to do it. What else? I was going to show you one more. We got so many comments coming in. Somebody said they were up at 4 a.m. California time to listen to this show. 4 a.m. California time.
That. That's really cool. That's awesome.
People have asked us about sound off. Now, we can't call it sound off if we were to do a show, but the plan is to do our regular Saturday post-game Iowa show. We'll come up with a name with it. We'll go 3 hours. We'll take phone calls. It's not going to be any different.
Wait.
Yeah?
We'll go 3 hours?
I have no problem going 3 hours. You don't want to do 3 hours? Well, how about this?
We'll talk about that.
The good thing is we can go as long as we want, as long as people are calling in.
Here's what I'm forgetting, too, Trav. I'm thinking 3 hours, 2 hours after the end of the game.
No.
Right. We can go right as soon as the game is. Hell, we can go when the fourth quarter starts.
Yeah, because we won't be showing the game. Right. We could actually do a show during the game and then just comment about what we're watching. I know.
That's the thing. We've tried to tell people this. We are really boring during a football game. Really boring. But Travis and I, during the course of a Hawkeye game, might say about 5 or 6 sentences to each other.
That'd so true.
That'd be really boring. But we'll talk about what that looks like.
Pete says, sounds great in Arizona, and I have a feeling there are a ton of people in Arizona. So I was talking to John Higgins over the weekend. He was down in Phoenix to watch the Iowa State-Arizona State game because he's the coordinator of the Big 12 officials. And he was with Jamie Pollard, and Jamie had told him, and I don't know if you saw all the Iowa State fans, that the most demanded away game ticket this year was for Arizona State. And it's because it fell on a weekend. People could go down to Arizona. It's the middle of winter. You can warm up a little bit. They totally took over the Arizona State arena.
I have a couple of friends that are down there right now. I know that my friends Ryan and Charday are listening in Arizona right now, and they went down there specifically for this. Exactly that, Travis. They saw this on the schedule and saw it kind of like a bowl game. Like, man, wait, in the middle of winter, I can go to some warm destination, watch my favorite team. Yeah, and then see a couple of games because a lot of people are staying down there and seeing both.
Got this coming in. Uncle Mitchie says, how can you help the Rush? Support their advertisers and tell them you heard it on the Rush. Exactly. So go buy some alcohol at Central City Liquors today. And
go buy a car from Willis. That's what you should do. You should go to Willis and be like, hey, you know what? Thanks for supporting the Rush. Got any new Cadillacs?
Got a Land Rover? So, also, because we're going to go all over the place today, because it's been 2 months since we've done a show. Bruno will be a part of this show as well. So, and we're going to go back to the old format. When we switched clocks at the old place, Bruno went from having a half hour to 4 minutes. And so, and he doesn't have to come into the studio now. He can just hop on the stream and talk to us.
That was kind of one of the disappointing things about when Derek said, I have 2 phones. First of all, Derek has a burner phone, but they're both flip phones. Didn't even know else caught that. He's got a burner phone and both of them are flip phones. Do you think he's got the belt cases for both? Double holsters, he's got a flip phone on both sides.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, remember those flip phones would just click into a hard plastic case?
Yes. Looked like a pager. What I was hoping when Derek called in, I was like, man, you know what we could do? We can send video links to even some of our listeners. So if a listener's got something that is a visual idea, or they're saying, this is what we can actually send them a link and they could be part of the thing. So people want to know what Derek is like on the forklift. We just got to get him a smartphone and then teach him how to use it and then get him to use it and then get him to, never mind.
By the way, if you, when the show is over, if you have questions, because, some people don't text and we don't have a text line, but you can comment on YouTube and X, but you can also send me an email. I don't know if Ross has I set Ross up an email.
I need to do that. I'll do that today.
You can email me, travis@therushradio.com. That's travis@therushradio.com. Why haven't you done that? I sent to you last week.
Yeah, I've had a busy week, if you haven't known. Relax over there, okay?
I've
got email. You know how to email me.
Yeah, but it's a Gmail account.
Ross@agencyiowa.com. There you go. There's how you email me.
See, and here's what he can do now, too. your boss, Mark Charter. Do you really have a boss at a real estate agency?
You have a broker. But
you have a broker.
Yeah, Mark's my buddy. Yeah, sure, he's my boss. He's my mentor.
Mentor. That's a better way to put it. Mentor. But right away, looking for like, hey, could you tell Ross to please plug his agency work a little bit more? I mean, I always thought he didn't do a very good job at that at the old place. Well, because he was kind of restricted at the old place.
Trust me, there's going to be an agency I was signed right there when this all gets said and done. That right now, that's Lake of the Woods. That's where I go fishing all the time. But that'll go like there. We'll figure it out. But yeah, working on it. Man.
Kirk says, can Bruno arrange for beer to be brewed called Derek on a forklift? Guy should be driving a forklift, no hands, talking on two phones.
Talking on two phones, driving the forklift with his knee.
Hello, fellas. How we doing today?
It's the real deal. The real deal.
It really is.
That's why I think it would be fun to have him on video sometime, just because that people have for a long time been like when he first started, there were people that were like, hey, that's Chris Hassel. That's Hassel calling in and doing a voice. And we're like, no, man, this is a real guy. And then I met him, and I'm like, oh, this guy's gold. This is America.
I haven't met him yet. I have not met Derek from New Sharon.
Here's the funny thing. Yeah, you have. Everybody in America has met Derek. Everybody. You know your uncle's buddy that you were like, man, I bet they have fun. That's Derek.
With a bush light in his hand.
Yeah.
Come here, sit on my knee. I got a story to tell you.
Remember when your mom was like, oh, yeah, Uncle Joe got arrested one time? You were like, I bet he was with that one guy. That's Derek.
515-517-2303. It was just a matter of time. So we've had Jeep Stud, we've had Derek, and now we have Mazer. Mazer, welcome to the Rush. What's up?
Good. Yeah, it was kind of a downer on Friday when you just gave us the old Irish goodbye. I left and went in and serviced one of my accounts and came out and had a message that you left. I'm like, what the hell?
Sorry, man.
But
it's
okay.
Let me think here. I'm trying to think, like only 6 or 7 people in the entire world that I know of knew this was going to happen. Me, my wife, Ross, Owen, Jeff Klein, and my 3 daughters. That's the only people I told. And trust me, how many times did I talk to Ross as we were leading up to this? I'm like, dude, if you say something, I was just panicked, right? Because we didn't know when this was all going to happen. People think we had it, planned for months. It wasn't true.
We did. The day I got fired, we were like, oh, yes. Wish we could work together. We could figure something out. And then we...
But I mean, the launch date and when it was all going to happen, we didn't really have once it became evident, okay, this is the perfect time to do it. We have people in place. Let's just go. And I just wanted to make sure, listen, Ross was unceremoniously let go. Justin was too. I didn't want that. I didn't want to get down to the show on a Friday and you guys find out on a Monday, oh, I'm not there anymore. I tried to do it the best way I could. It probably wasn't perfect, and many of you will not forgive me, or many people won't forgive me for it, and I understand it. There was no easy way to do it, and it was just a clean break, and I didn't want to go from have a week off. I go, if we're going to do it, we're going to end on a Friday, and Ross and I are going to start on a Monday. So there it is.
Yeah, and it's kind of I wouldn't say a middle finger back to them for how they treated everybody else, but it's like, did they quite deserve 2 weeks notice? Maybe hypothetically, maybe the coworkers did, but maybe not the company. I mean, they didn't like to give anybody 2 weeks notice, so why the hell did they deserve it?
Listen, people need to understand, I was a part-time employee. I literally wrote down 3 hours of work every day on a time card. That's it. I wasn't a full-time employee. I was basically at will.
And we had to negotiate to write down that third hour.
Yes. No kidding. for the first like 10 years, I was
half
like a
hour before,
2
half hour after.
No, it was like they were like, you can only write time down for your 2 hours on the show. I'm like, but I'm up doing work, getting ready for the show beforehand. Can we just give me an extra hour? And that took like 10 years to get an extra hour.
It's like pulling teeth. Well, happy you guys are back together again. And you want to know the difference between Derek Sharon and Steph Curry?
What?
Steph Curry's been hitting threes for years. The only difference is he's been getting paid to do it.
Been hitting threes.
What
does that? No, what does that? What does it mean? Derek's been
like, you know how like you grade women on a scale 1 to 10.
Oh, dude.
Sorry. Hi, Derek.
Thanks, Mazer.
Why you
Later, bye.
It's not funny to make fun of people like that. It's not funny. And by the way, Mazer, buckle up because Derek knows how to swing. He'll be coming for you. Okay, you just took a shot at the champ.
515-517-2303.
Tomorrow's phone call is going to go, Peterson, I got something for that Mazer.
What's up, Brad?
That was really good. I really like that. Oh, hitting threes. Oh, I didn't put 2 and 2 together there until he explained it. But
I didn't either.
That was gold.
That went way over my head.
Pretty good.
That's comedic thinking right there.
Oh, I almost couldn't talk to you guys clicked in. I was laughing so hard. Hey, I'm glad to have you guys back together, for one. Are you guys going to do a sound off after Hawkeye games again?
Yeah, we
that'd be wonderful. I would love to see that
for a moment. Yeah, we don't know what it'll look like or sound like or be called. But
yeah, because we can't call it that. We can't call it that, and we shouldn't. I mean, that belongs to that institution.
That existed before we did. We were custodians of that. Yeah.
And also impeccable timing. I mean, you guys start a sports podcast right before the Super Bowl and right before the dead season for sports. So congratulations. Great timing on that one. What do you got? WNBA basketball coming up?
This is
NASCAR. So, yeah.
Truth, and I've said this for a long time. This is my favorite time to do this, is when we don't have stuff we have to talk about. When we get to just be...
Well, let's be honest. You guys don't really focus on sports anyway. It's more of an entertainment show.
Thank you,
Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Amen. Thanks, man.
I love you guys. Love to have you guys back together. I'm pulling into work right now, but I'll try to listen for at least 10 minutes every morning on the way to work. How about that?
Well, you can always listen. You can always bring your phone in to the office and listen right on your phone at therushradio.com. Just click listen live.
I'll blast the morning rush during the safety meeting.
Yes.
Be great.
The rush.
Thanks, Brad. Appreciate it.
The rush with Travis.
There you go.
Yeah. He could have been our new big voice guy. But yeah, I mean, this is a sports show that goes in many different directions. We will have life, pop culture, rabbit holes that Ross goes down. I mean, again, it's not changing.
Did you see the strawberry rabbit hole yesterday?
The strawberry rabbit hole?
Dude. You ever eaten a strawberry?
Lots of times.
You know the little black seeds on the outside of a strawberry? There's like 200 of them on a regular strawberry. You know what I'm talking about?
No, because most of the seeds that I see are kind of like a white seed, aren't they?
Oh, whatever they are. The little seed on the outside of a strawberry, that thing, that's not a seed. That's a fruit. A strawberry is a false fruit. It's called a pseudo fruit. Seriously.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
You're blowing me away here. You're blowing me away here.
I've become a strawberry expert. Fire away.
Did you watch a documentary on this? Where'd you get this?
So Audrey has an amazing facts book, and when we drive, she sits there and rattles off amazing facts. And one of them was about, I don't remember how we got it. One of them was about strawberries. I don't remember. And so that got us looking down this strawberry rabbit hole about what is a strawberry, a berry, and it's not a berry either. It's a flower. It's a receptacle for the flower. And then the little seed things, they're actually a fruit. Each one of those little things is the fruit of the tree. So inside of those little seed things, there's a seed. Strawberries this whole time. A whole world you didn't know about in your hand.
Why am I 54 years old and just hearing about this?
Because our public school system failed us, Travis. That's why. Now we get into politics.
You got to blame the public school system. Way to go, Ross. Way to go. You always got to get the shot in. Next thing you're going to tell me, what do we think is a fruit but is actually a vegetable? Isn't there something out there that's like we
No, there's a tomato is a fruit. And then
okay, that's what it is.
This is an old, and I did learn this. Thank you, public school system, and my friend George Davis, because George taught me that old axiom. What is it? Knowledge is knowing that tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing it doesn't belong in fruit salad.
Wow. You had some smart people around you.
I was lucky.
Really smart people. Damn. 515-517-2303. That is the number to call. We are here till 8 o'clock. Again, nothing's really changing. We're going to be here till 8 o'clock, 6 to 8 every single day. And then, of course, if you miss any part of the show, you can listen to it on repeat on therushradio.com. Or, as I said earlier, we are on the iHeartRadio app. True story. And we are also on Spotify, working to get it on Apple. We're going to take a quick break and come back with more of The Rush on therushradio.com.
Take a trip back in time to this 60s style corner tap, the High Life Lounge. The champagne of bars knows nostalgia and retro. Enjoy our famous roasted chicken, juicy, crispy, and delicious. Order up some deviled eggs with your favorite classic American beer like Pabst, Hams, or Old Milwaukee. High Life has delicious sandwiches, daily specials, casseroles, and all of the dishes like Mom used to make. A place to relax and catch up with old friends. The High Life Lounge, downtown Des Moines. If you got the time, we got the beer.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah. Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
The Rush. Two guys, two cities, and absolutely no filter. Willis Auto keeps the wheels turning, even if we can't.
Welcome back to The Rush on therushradio.com and also on YouTube and X. We're here for you till 8 o'clock today. Did you go pee? Is that what you did?
Yes, I did.
You take a pee?
Yeah, thanks.
Well, because I went to a single camera because I'm like, well, he's not back yet. And I'm like, well, I don't want it to come out empty. Though that would have been kind of funny.
We're gonna get a TV commercial from Willis Auto, so we can extend that a little bit.
Well, hopefully our commercial breaks get a little bit longer. That would be nice.
I did just got a message from our buddy Christian. He says, "Hey, can't you play Owen Justice music?"
I don't know the answer to that because he's
I have a connection with him. I could reach out to him and see if that. I have a contact with Owen Justice.
Yeah. Huh.
I don't know. If we get the artist permission, is that okay?
I think artist permission would be okay.
Okay. All right. Well, again, I know him. I'll reach out. I'll go through my channels.
See, you were gone and 1 hour in and Ross got fired again.
That's a good line, Justin. Good line.
That's fair.
Strike three. He's out. I did feel a little bit like Billy Martin. I got to be honest. There was a little moment of like, hey, I got fired from the same job twice. That doesn't happen. I'm in rare air there.
That is rare air.
Yeah.
But let's go back to 2020. We all knew it was going to happen again, right? And I think once Murph and Andy left to go to Iowa Everywhere, that kind of set the stage for because let's be honest, if Murph and Andy didn't protest the first time in 2020, we would not have come back. We were done.
Yeah, the fan response was great. The listener or the advertiser response swung a lot of weight. It was Murph and Andy putting their meat on the chopping block. Is what got us back there.
So,
and I will let them tell their story, and I think they have done this, but I don't. I think that they would want you to clarify. They did not leave the radio station to go to Iowa Everywhere.
No, they did not.
That did, and I know all the parties involved here, and I truly do believe that was something that wasn't necessarily locked in place, and I know it wasn't locked in place and in the works. I'll let them tell that story, but I do think they would want that clarification of they didn't leave the radio station to go to Iowa Everywhere. That just became kind of like my situation. It became the lifeboat that was there once things were done at the radio station.
515-517-2303 if you want to join in on the show. That's the number to call. It's a new one, so get it programmed into your phone. You can watch us and listen to us on YouTube as well as X. Just follow us at Rush Mornings. And if you want to listen to us live in your car or anytime during the day, go to therushradio.com and click the Listen Live link. And again, the show will repeat for the next 22 hours till we come back on tomorrow. Still working some things out, and there will be glitches. This is show number 1, but so far, so good. We know that the Chiefs are on their way to the Super Bowl and try to become the first team in NFL history to win 3 straight Super Bowls. They'll be taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, a team they played a couple of years ago in the Super Bowl, and a rematch with Andy Reid with his own team. They put up 55 points yesterday against the Commanders, the most since the merger in 1970. You've never had that many points scored in a conference championship game.
We do this a lot, like that hyperbole and that church of now that happens where you watch something like Saquon Barkley, and my reaction watching that yesterday is, how have we undervalued the running back? And the reason is because he's special. There are not running backs like Saquon Barkley out there. He is a one of one. And this Eagles team, I think, is a great example, Travis, of that that fit thing we talk about a lot with quarterbacks. That a quarterback, most of these dudes are amazing athletes, amazing quarterbacks. You put the right system around them, and then all of a sudden magic starts to happen. And Jalen Hurts is a great example of that. I mean, this dude, they have weapons. That was a really, really impressive performance against a really good Commanders team, man. They've been having a lot of fun this year, and I'm excited about the future of that team because I have some Washington friends in my life, and they've been waiting a long time for success.
Who's your buddy that goes to Commanders games all the time?
Well, we've got Drew Shipley, who just moved down to Kansas, so he won't be going to any more Commanders games. He's the dude that won the 50-50 raffle where the Redskins didn't have the money. Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
He won a 50-50 raffle at an NFL game, and the check bounced. So anyway, that was Drew. He lived there for a while. My buddy Josh Martinez, that I worked with for a long time, who's a Brooklyn native but a big Redskins fan. My old brother-in-law Jeremy, he's a lifelong Redskins fan. So yeah, those guys they got a bright future. Yesterday, that was
a butt kicking.
Now, it didn't help. Special.
It didn't help that the Commanders turned the ball over 4 times. You turn the ball over that much in any level of football, your odds of winning are going down big time. You've got to protect the football. I mean, you look at the Kansas City and Buffalo game. Kansas City had the 1 turnover, and that's why it was such a close game because nobody really made mistakes.
Trav, you put something in my brain at the beginning of the football season, or maybe even before the football season started, that your buddy Scott Spreitzer had dropped on you. And I think about it often, dude. and it is the difference that starting field position makes in a drive. It seems like a pretty common thing, and it seems like almost, too common sense that the further down you start with the ball, the closer to the end zone you start, the more likely you are to score. But man, the rate, those were shocking numbers at how that percentage increases by yard as you move down the field. And I think about that now when I'm watching games, and yesterday it was the same thing. You look at where teams start with the ball and you go, ooh, this is going to be tough to stop. And that over and over and over again, that was the case with the Eagles. And then even when they did have bad field position, Saquon's able to break one.
That dude went for 118 yards yesterday. He had 200 the week before against Detroit. I don't think they've undervalued the running back. I think running backs have become commodity, and that's, I think, is that what you're getting at?
I want to be clear here. I watched that game, and it's kind of like when you watch a quarterback play well, and you go, man, how come my quarterback doesn't play that well? Well, your quarterback doesn't have that offensive line, doesn't have that running back, doesn't have those wide receivers built up around him. For Saquon, I watch that, and I go, gosh, this is what running backs used to be. 100 yards a game in a playoff game, yeah, we saw that a lot when we were kids. It happened all the time. Now it's special, and my first thought is, why isn't this more common? And then I instantly realize it's because he's not common. It's not the game, it's the dude. He is different.
It is so different. I mean, when's the last time we saw a running back in the National Football League like Saquon Barkley?
I mean, again, this is that Church of Now thing.
That's true.
Christian McCaffrey has had times where you're like, oh, this is the greatest running back of all time. Who have we seen recently that has done like Saquon? I think Christian McCaffrey is probably the most recent, but we've seen it a few times in our life. And again, this is what we do. We see it and we go, greatest ever. Jared Goff is going to be the greatest quarterback we've ever... Oh, wait. Trevor Lawrence is going to be the greatest... Oh, wait. Brock Purdy is... Oh, wait. And right now we're going, Saquon Barkley is the greatest running back. He is the best running back in the game. That's pretty obvious.
Yes. Are quarterbacks becoming the new commodity?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that not new. Now, when you say commodity in this sense, what do you mean?
Well, like just easily replaceable. I mean, it used to be running backs had a 3, 4, 5 year shelf life. Are we going to see? Mahomes is something special, obviously. Yeah. Josh Allen is something special. I mean, is Jalen Hurts going to be that long term guy? Is Jalen Daniels going to be that long term guy? Or are we going to see 4 or 5 year quarterbacks, and much like we did at the running? I don't think so. But it's something to ponder.
That's going to take a big culture change, Trav, because you think about right now where we're at. We're at the total other end of that spectrum where quarterbacks are so highly sought after and so highly paid, and we build franchises around these guys, thinking that they're going to be the magic solution. Caleb Williams is a great example of that. You think, oh man, the team sucks, but if we can just get this one guy, then we pay him all the money, then everything's going to be fine. And then, of course, that never works.
Well, look at Deshaun Watson, right? I mean, he had his troubles in Houston. He was doing troubles.
He wasn't having troubles. He feeling great. Loose, massaged, clear-headed.
But they're like, okay,
I shouldn't joke about it.
Cleveland throws all that money at him, and nothing happens. We talk about system quarterbacks all the time. Everybody's in a system. You need a quarterback alone is not going to win you football games. Look at Brock Purdy this year. Brock Purdy had a much better entourage around him when they were healthy because they had to deal with injuries. Brock Purdy on his own or with other guys that are injured, they're not winning football games. You need the total. You need the offensive line. You need the receivers. You need a running back. You need people that you can count on. You need players. It's just not one guy.
You need a system.
Yes, you need a system. So I thought this was interesting because the Commanders got beat yesterday, got all the way to the NFC Championship, and it really was almost a rags to riches story. But on ESPN.com, they had a story about how Daniel Snyder was not happy with their success. Now, this is the former owner of the Commanders. And you're like, I think that says a
turd
no
of a human
kidding.
being, dude. Can't be happy for the success. I mean, you were in the way of it. Is that why you're not? Do you think, Travis, that's why he can't be happy for it? Because there's this realization of like, oh, I was the problem. Is that it? How is this possible that you would spend your life building something like that? That's an overstatement. That's an overstatement. How is it that you could dedicate this much time of your life to something, this much passion, this much money into a franchise? Now, I understand it got taken from you, but how could, I don't know. I would think that you would be like, man, I'm really happy for the people that are left behind. I'm really happy for the fans that I let down. I'm glad I'm glad you fans are finally getting to enjoy the success that I wasn't able to bring you. How hard would that have been?
Yeah, all it shows is that you weren't able to run a football program in a franchise. You hired the wrong coaches. You hired the wrong GM.
Made the wrong draft picks.
You know, Mike says it best. He goes, Snyder's a narcissist. Doesn't realize he was the villain.
Mike, that's a great point. None of us do. No, we're all the hero in our own story, right? That's a good point. That he's looking at it as, I'm the hero. He's a narcissist. I think that's fair to say. He seemed very much has demonstrated narcissistic tendencies and capabilities and all that. So, yeah, good call.
517-2303.
We're gonna have to put that number we're gonna have to laminate it and Scotch tape it to your screen.
Oh, well, that's why I have it, right there on the screen. That's where I'm reading it from. Let's go to David. David, welcome to the Rush. What's going on? David.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. I hesitated to call because I just really enjoyed listening to you guys. It's been a while. I'm just happy for both of you, and we still love our friends on the other side now. I still support them, but I've missed you guys collectively. I really have, and so it's just been a joy listening to you. I got a theory, Ross. Help me out here. There's the baseball movie where they're talking statistics.
Moneyball.
Brad Pitt's in it. Moneyball. Okay. Now you asked that question about commodities and things like that, and in my head I'm going, I think that translates over to football too. When we were kids, because Ross, we're about the same age, right? You had that one running back on each team that was just the workhorse. But
yeah,
I think
you can actually, David, from when we were kids,
like 3 years.
Sorry to interrupt you, man. When we were kids, you can think of a franchise, and most of us can come up with a running back for that franchise. That's a really good point.
Yep.
Well,
hold on. But the average career is like 3 years at that position.
Casey Hall writes in on YouTube. He says, Derrick Henry, Chris Johnson, Adrian Peterson, Sean Alexander, LaDainian Tomlinson. That's just over a long span. I mean, those are running backs that you're talking about, just over that time.
Yeah, but those are few and far between. But when we start thinking, obviously you got the cap, you got the money that and after 3 years, these guys want more money. Then you're like, okay, what if they get hurt? And now you're down to, you guys play fantasy football. Usually there was like 3 or 4 running backs. If you didn't get one of those 3 or 4, you were average. You might do okay, But I think now it's really truly gone to this running back guy by committee. We don't need one workhorse. We just need 3 guys that are better than average that stay healthy. And I feel like to a certain extent there's liability issues, right? It's like we don't want this huge contract, this workhorse, because he's just going to get beat up, and then we're just out. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I just want to throw that at you guys.
Appreciate it, David.
Man, I'm so glad you guys are back.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Should have asked David, does he see what you asked Travis? Does he see the game evolving to where quarterbacks kind of take on that same sort of, I hate to say by committee, but that's kind of the term that we use when you've got a rotation of guys, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't work at quarterback. It's never worked at quarterback to say, all right, We're going to rotate this. We're going to give a possession to this guy, a possession to that guy. We're going to let this guy play the first half, this guy. It's never worked.
No, what we see at quarterback is you draft a guy in the first round, and he just doesn't work out. And it seems maybe it's like that because after 3 or 4 years, you're like, this just ain't working. And then they may let's use Sam Darnold as an example. Sam Darnold, up until this year, he went to Minnesota to be a backup. J.J. McCarthy was going to be probably the starting quarterback because you draft a guy number one, J.J. McCarthy gets hurt, Sam Darnold comes in. This goes back to what we were saying earlier. You got people around you. When you have people around you, you're like, oh, I can be a pretty decent quarterback, right? I mean,
a lot of guys fit into this conversation. Lots of them. Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. 515-517-2303. Let's go to Chris. Chris, welcome to The Rush. What's going on?
Good morning. I'm so happy this morning. It's just amazing. I did want to say to Ross, I've been eliminated from the same job twice, and yeah, it's a weird feeling.
Yeah. But we're, again, I look at it, Chris, as it makes us special. It really does.
That's right.
Chris, are you?
Congrats, guys.
How are you listening today? Are you listening on therushradio.com, YouTube, X? How are you listening today?
Rushradio.com.
And everything sound okay?
Yeah, it's great.
Excellent. Well,
thank you, Chris. Thank you for calling in. Glad to be back.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Here, you see me keep. Come here. Because Travis is used to this every morning. All right, so
yeah. Audrey will come in. We've had a lot of people asking for Arlo to come into the show. The dog. We try not to let Arlo into the dining room because he leaves hair all over the rug. So we're going to keep him secure.
Well, and just on cue, Kirby makes an appearance.
How many dogs do you have? Do you have one or two dogs?
I just have the one dog here. Yeah, the Great Pyrenees went with the ex-wife, so that the Great Pyrenees is still crazy, as Audrey just said.
Still crazy. We were talking about quarterbacks. Shedeur Sanders is, I believe, at the East-West Shrine Bowl. He says he's probably hasn't decided yet if he's going to throw at the combine yet. And, in old days, that would have been like, what are you doing? What are you trying to hide? It's not that way anymore because these guys do private workouts all the time. I mean, the combine is necessary, especially for those guys who want to get drafted in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. These first rounders, they know what they're going to be going through, right?
Yes, Travis, I think you're right. They've gone and they've probably had individual interviews and workouts or something like that. I'm with you. I think that for a guy like that, there's probably more to lose than to gain by doing it. I think that if you're in that Sanders camp, or if you're trying to justify this, or if I'm the PR team that's been brought in here, I'm gonna use this line. His talents are not measured in practice. His talents are, and again, I'm not a huge Shedeur Sanders fan. I don't think he's I don't think he's going to be a program changer for any of these teams. I don't. He's a good player. He's a really good player, but his skill is not going to be measured by throwing accuracy, throwing distance, things like that, 40 times. They're all impressive. He's a super athlete. If I'm selling this to teams, that's what I'm saying, is if you want to watch who Shedeur Sanders is, here's the tape, and you can see how he does it, how he did against top-level competition. We're not going to put him in the spandex and have him go out there and have you measure his hands.
515-517-2303. Let's go to Mary. Mary, welcome to The Rush. What's going on, Mary?
Hey, good morning, guys. Mary Core here with Avenue Scholars.
Hey,
Hello.
Mary, how are you? Great to hear from you.
Oh, yes. Oh, hey, I wanted to jump on the bandwagon and welcome you guys back.
Thank you so much.
And it's
Good.
kind of nice. I'm putting my makeup on while I'm listening to you.
Well, it's great to hear from you. Great to hear from you, Mary. Thank you so much for reaching out, and it's glad. I'm glad to be back. We've got some wonderful partners that have helped us get to this point.
All right. Well, we know how important those partners are. So, hey, you guys have a great day, and I'll keep listening.
Thanks
a lot,
Appreciate
Mary.
it.
Talk to you soon.
Ross,
Bye.
A lot of feedback coming in because they're watching on YouTube, and people are saying, hello, Audrey.
Oh, that's Steph.
And then Jeremy says, because we can do anything we want on here. Audrey's fun facts. Audrey could come in daily and give a fun fact of the day.
She could. I say that with all confidence. Audrey would do that. She'd kill it. She'd be amazing at coming in here and giving you some amazing facts. She'd be great at it.
Old Blue Tackle says, we need Ross's Spanish teacher to call in. Now, Senorita Puffer was not Ross's Spanish teacher. You need to understand that.
She was Justin's Spanish teacher. She was Justin's high school Spanish teacher. And then I only met her through youth baseball. One time, Eli was playing in a game, and this real nice lady approached me. She's like, "You Ross?" I said, yeah. She goes, "Senorita Puffer," and I said, "Hola."
Do you know any Spanish besides hola?
Sí.
And sí. That's it? I know zero Spanish. Now,
Sí.
Owen works on a job site, right? And he's
What's that
immersed
mean?
in it every single day. Well, he's a carpenter.
What's that mean?
Well, he's a carpenter.
Okay.
He's like Jesus.
I don't stereotype. So you have to explain things to me. You said he's like Jesus.
A carpenter.
Just like him.
Just like him. But he's immersed, so he knows more Spanish than I do. And yeah.
It's all gone, dude. It's all gone. Yeah, see, Ross knows Portuguese is my language. Obrigado, Ross. Huh? That means thank you in Portuguese.
And he knows that because he was in Portugal last year.
And and we've just exhausted all of my Portuguese and Spanish. Two languages, 3 words.
I heard Portuguese is like really hard to pick up. And like Brazilian Portuguese is much different than
I witnessed it.
Portuguese, yeah.
Witness it. So see this is my stuff from the Camino here. That's actually my Brazil magnet that my friends from Brazil got for me.
Avocado means thank you in Portuguese?
Yeah, pretty close. Avocado.
Getting a shout out here, Ross. Anthony Derrick says, what's up from Prairie Ridge Sports Complex?
Oh, what's up, Anthony? Good to see you, man. Good to hear from you. Yeah, Trav, I love the interactive part of this. Being able to take phone calls, really, this is cool. So, and we're going to have Justin joining us here in a little bit.
Yeah, Justin's going to join us in about after the commercial break at 7:30. But do you think Shedeur Sanders, he's not throwing at the combine or considering it? And we were talking about the quarterbacks, and look at the quarterbacks in the AFC with Patrick Mahomes. You look at Jalen Hurts with Philadelphia. A lot of pressure is put on that number 1 pick. He still thinks he's worthy of being the number 1 pick. Do you think Shedeur Sanders is the number 1 pick?
No. I don't think Shedeur Sanders is a top 10 pick. I don't think Shedeur Sanders should be looked at. If he goes to one of those situations, Travis, where he's going to be looked at with that sort of pressure to be the next Patrick Mahomes, to be a Josh Allen type of figure, I think that's a recipe for disaster. I think the best situation for Shedeur Sanders is going to be to go kind of like a Jordan Love type of situation. Go in, or a Patrick Mahomes situation, quite frankly. Get a couple of years to be able to get your feet and eyes acclimated to the NFL game. That I'm just guessing. Unless he lands in a situation again like Brock Purdy, where you get drafted to a team that is just on the verge with a bunch of other talent. They got a great offensive line. The offensive coordinator fits your skill set, which I think is going to be a big part for Shedeur Sanders. He is not going to be that traditional kind of sit in the pocket and run the playbook. He's going to be a lot more Brett Favre gunslinger than a lot of offensive coordinators and head coaches are going to want.
515-517-2303. Let's go to Clear Lake. That's where our good buddy AJ is. AJ, welcome to the Rush.
Good morning. This is like Christmas again for me today, fellas. This is just fan-frickin-tastic. Can you swear on this now or not?
You can, but
I'm not gonna.
You don't have to.
I know. I don't want to. I just was having a little fun, but just love it. I've been on YouTube on my phone, was in my office in my shop, on the computer, on the website, and it was wonderful. So just feel like I got to talk to some old friends back again, and just loving what you're doing, and going forward, it's going to be great. And now you've got a small business owner in Clear Lake that I want to try to get some advertising with you guys, because you know, Travis, I'm going out to Nebraska more, and I'd like to. I could do some help, and I fumigate or disinfect liquor stores. So man, I'd like to hook up with Central City Liquors and help them keep all their bottles clean once a week, or you never know. So there's lots of opportunities. So just want to say fantastic and just wonderful, and let's go and love it. So thanks, guys.
AJ,
have a great
AJ,
Monday, and let's go.
AJ?
Yep, yeah.
Travis at therushladio.com. Send me an email, and we'll get you some advertising information, if you're serious.
Okay, that would be wonderful. Awesome.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks,
so have a great day.
Thanks, buddy.
You bet.
Thanks, AJ.
Bye.
A lot of people wondering. It's interesting, and I'm not going to give stats every single day. But just to let you know, Twitter's probably where people are watching a lot right now. We got about 400 people watching on YouTube, couple hundred listening online. But right now, our total live right now stream, Ross, is at like 3,258 right now. So
that's nice.
Yeah,
listen, I like that we're talking to that many people, and thank you to everybody, because we know that this is new and that
you're changing your habits.
We are. It's a routine, and so thank you. Big thank you. And Travis, should take just a second to thank everybody anyway. Everybody that reached out. Man, I wish every person could feel that appreciation that I have been so blessed to feel. I've been so blessed to be able to have people reach out to me, whether it's Twitter or Facebook, or if they know my number, or however, people that I've run into at the gym or in the stores, at shows, and people that come up and say, man, I loved what you did. I wish every single person could feel that appreciation. Be blessed beyond measure. So thank you to all of you that have taken these extra steps to find this. And I felt it. I really did. So thank you.
515-517-2303. That's the number to call if you want to participate in the show. When we come back, we are scheduled to be joined by the one and only Justin Miller. I have not talked to Justin.
Justin Miller from the Media Row podcast?
From the Media Row podcast. He's going to fill us in on what he's going to be doing.
We got him.
We got him. And we'll also be talking about the Iowa and Iowa State games coming up tonight. It is The Rush, powered by Willis Auto.
Hey, Brian, I'm thinking about wooden nickels.
What? What the heck's a wooden nickel worth?
Free ice, free lime, any number of things. Collect 10 or more and you can save money off your next purchase.
How do you get these wooden nickels?
We're going to give them away with a purchase, kind of like a reward program.
Why not a reward card?
No, it's got to be a wooden nickel.
Why a wooden nickel?
Because I already bought 10,000 of them.
What?
You figure it out. By the way, I also got 10,000 more on back order. It's got to be huge.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And wooden nickels. Nickel, you gave me a great idea.
What happens when your passion for beer meets the people who make it? It's El Bait Shop. Our relationships with breweries help us find the best beers, and is also why you'll find them here first. Over 260 beers on tap, 100 more in cans and bottles. Know what you want, but not by name? El Bait Shop's knowledgeable staff will find the beer you're craving. Do you want the very best American craft beer available as much as we do? There is only one place to find it. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd Street, downtown Des Moines.
Travis and Ross bringing the heat, even when the takes are ice cold. Powered by Willis Auto.
Welcome back to The Rush on therushradio.com. We're just experimenting with those backs. Sometimes our takes are ice cold, though, right? I mean, we have to admit our takes aren't always the best. We think they're the best, but they're not.
I do have a personal question for you.
Okay.
Can we get personal? Can we
Sure.
get like, just us gals type thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
How come my head's so shiny and yours isn't?
Because I have a dull, matte, bald head.
There's not like some trick to it?
Well, I'm 54 years old, and I don't think
You are old. I forget. I often forget how old you are.
I don't think I excrete oil like I used to.
Oh, you're saying I'm oily?
Justin's trying again. I sent it last. He's like, "Are you going to send a link?" I go, "I sent it last night."
Yeah. He sent it yesterday, Justin. Thanks. Jeez. You'd have thought the guy had been more excited about joining us on our inaugural debut. He's trying to screw this up, isn't he? He's trying to screw that. This is all part of his master plan. Start a podcast, get things going, get some momentum, and then when he finally gets a chance to be, to promote it, then he's gonna. This Miller kid.
Give him a link and say, "Hey, you can join us anytime." Owen came in and says, "Where's Justin at?" I'm like, "I don't know. He's going to be."
I
joining
should have
us."
texted him during the break there and reminded him that that link was in his email. But
Does he still have his I mean, I sent it to his Gmail account. I don't know if it's a different email address. So who knows? But don't worry, Justin. We got a half hour left in the show. So
Drake has been a lot of fun this year. Are you surprised, Travis, at that they were able to maintain this success? I really, not that I thought that DeVries was necessarily like the secret sauce, but I didn't think that they'd be able to turn this roster over the way that they did and have this success. Because, man, they've been outside of those two games against Murray State and what was the other one they lost?
UIC Chicago.
Yeah. Outside of those two, man.
Surprised, yes, because you basically replaced the roster with Division II guys.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I meant.
And you're like, okay, but maybe that shows you when you're a better Division II team, how close you are to really being able to compete with those lower Division I conferences.
Trav, it kind of goes back to that quarterback conversation. Like, you can, the sum of your parts can be greater than the whole can be greater than the sum of the parts, or whatever that is. You take these group of guys that didn't get D1 scholarships, you coach them up, you coach them together as a team, and then all of a sudden you drop that into a Division I setting. I think that's a part of it. It's a system. It's a buy-in by everybody around you. And once you've got that, and you know where those other four guys are going to be on the court, you can take that up a few levels.
Now, I'm going to put this back up there, but Dean says, I heard Drake plays a lick ladder type offense. And they will they will go down to 4 seconds left on the shot clock. So,
Trav, in looking back at these point totals for this season, a lot of wins in the 60s. I mean, a lot of these games are 60-50, 64-57, 63-40, 66-62. Their last win against Missouri State was 69-62. Now they've had a couple, against Valpo they put up 80. Against St. Ambrose they put up 90. That's a different level.
We should have had
they did score 80 against Miami.
Yeah. We should have had a call with Justin because he can't figure this thing out. He's like, am I supposed to call in? I'm like, dude. I should have called him last night.
Yeah.
I said I sent the link. He probably doesn't know he's supposed to do video. He may not even be set up for it. I don't know.
I thought we talked about that. That's all right. We'll figure that out. Again, glitches.
Yes, but not on our end. Patrick says, you would think a producer could manage a link.
Here's the deal. Justin figured out the podcasting thing before we did. Justin figured out how to be doing stuff on Twitter and cutting up his little highlights and making shorts and doing all that amazing stuff. By the way, if you haven't seen that, Justin is doing a fantastic job of covering Drake sports. He has a media credential down to Arch Madness, so he's going to be doing Drake coverage from Arch Madness on his Media Row stuff.
So I'm going to send it to him again because he goes,
Okay,
I don't
that's
have.
right.
He goes, I don't have a link.
Well, then make sure you have the right email address before we keep firing stuff into the ether.
Justin M with a bunch of numbers?
I don't know. I don't know your email address. I type in T and it pops up on my link, and then I do that. I don't know anybody's phone number. Don't ask me.
I'm texting him. I'm saying, I'm sending the link. Jeez.
Unbelievable.
I know. Can't take this kid anywhere. Hopefully he gets it. Well, let's before as we wait for Justin, Iowa State. It's a 9:30 game tonight. 9:30. God, that's late. Are you going to be able to make it? I'm like, I'm out.
Make it through that? No way. No way.
Yeah.
Make it to it? Yeah. I'll probably watch. In fact, I'll probably fall asleep watching it.
Iowa State, a 1.5 point favorite over Arizona. Both teams 7-1 in the Big 12. The Cyclones, number 3 in the Associated Press poll. Yes, we can say Associated Press poll. That's the poll that shall not be named. But it is. This is a big game tonight. It's going to be an incredible crowd. A team that kind of struggled early on, but has found its footing once it got in the Big 12. This is a huge, huge game for the Cyclones. But they've already won at Arizona State, so there's that split you were talking about.
That's huge game for the Cyclones for those reasons you talk about, Travis, but not like a must-win by any stretch. I mean, you've positioned yourself here, if you're TJ Otzelberger and just as the Cyclones, you've positioned yourself where you can take a couple lumps here. Derek even said it earlier in his phone call, anticipating that this team is going to go into the tournament with 4 or 5 losses on their record. Well, tonight could be one of those. I don't know. This team is playing so well, and even when they're on the road, man, they just don't seem to lose any of that focus. So I don't think tonight's that night. Where's that coming from?
For some reason, he's like he can't figure out technology, and he decides. Justin Miller joins us on the phone. This wasn't supposed to be the way it went down.
Our first guest was supposed to be on the screen with us.
Yes.
Very disappointed.
Can't you figure out like how video works?
Well, so I'm looking through. I still don't have a link.
I just sent you the email.
I'm going through everything.
Do you still have your same Gmail account?
Yeah.
I literally just sent
it.
I sent it like 2 seconds ago.
The last thing I have is Megan Venmo'd me for groceries.
Did you?
I should delete that, shouldn't I?
Hey, we're on the air,
but
right? This is our debut show. We got people listening for the first time. We're on the air. This isn't pre-show meeting, Justin.
Oh, that's on me. Hand up accountability.
Has it still not come? Check your spam folder. But
making me download it because Apple doesn't support this technology is what it literally says.
Are you on your phone?
I'm having to download.
Use your computer.
I'm on my computer. This is probably why I got fired.
This is why I got fired. No, it's not.
No,
Justin.
what you need to do is use a Chrome browser and.
How about we just talk Drake basketball?
Yeah,
with the
how about
guy,
we
and then we figure this out another time?
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I don't know why. That's on me, guys.
Hey, it's all right, Justin. We built in for mistakes here in these opening weeks. We really did. We planned for some. We didn't plan on you being that mistake, but hey, lesson learned.
I'm that mistake. That's what people know me as.
Comments are loving you, though, dude. Comments. Everybody in the comment section is really supportive right now. They're offering technological support.
I could use it.
So only Justin. Only Justin. So you've started, since you were let go, you have taken, you've started the Media Row. Am I saying that right? The Media Row podcast, where you're focusing a lot on Drake and the Missouri Valley Conference.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I decided I wanted to do. I wanted to still talk sports, and Drake has been kind of one of my teams since I was little. My dad and I were going to games back when I was like 6 years old. So I've always had a special connection with Drake, and then plus graduating there. The day I was let go,
did you graduate? You never
I got
walked.
messages from Drake. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot you're still upset about that. It's one of my favorite things. Yeah, I graduated. I can send you a photo of my diploma.
You can figure out how to do that. You can figure out how to send a photo, but you can't figure out how to follow a link. Cool.
Messenger pigeon, right? That's how everybody does it. Messenger pigeon.
So you said the day you got fired, Justin, folks at Drake reached out.
Yeah, and they were like, "We have a credential here waiting for you. If you want to go and keep covering Drake for a bit, we would love to have you." So they've been really supportive. And then when I decided, hell, I should just start my own podcast talking about it, Trav helped me with all the technology of getting a microphone and what equipment I should use, because I had no idea what I was supposed to grab. And then Ross has been supporting me too the whole way. So very grateful for everyone out there. Very grateful for you guys, and it's awesome to hear you guys back on air together.
Thanks, man. The Bulldogs got a nice win on the weekend. Anytime you go on the road, they won at Missouri State, which is the worst team in the Missouri Valley Conference. Got a nice win. I think we'll try to have you back again on Wednesday, Justin, because that's going to be a big game at the Knapp Center. That's when Northern Iowa comes to town, and you're probably going to have a sellout at the Knapp Center, but that's going to be a huge, huge game.
Those are always the best. And yes, I will have everything ready for Wednesday. It will be perfect. It'll be like nothing ever went wrong on Monday.
We'll see.
We'll see is probably the right answer. But, against UNI, Jacobson's a great coach, and he has these teams. I mean, UNI hasn't been dominant, but, man, he does this every year where it feels like they go kind of middle of the pack during the regular season in the conference, and then you wouldn't be surprised if they're one of the Final Four teams standing in March and Arch Madness. So he's always going to put up really good teams, and then McCollum, what he's been able to do is just nothing short of impressive. You have all these D2 guys. You lost all your star players, your head coach, and now you're the second best team in the Missouri Valley. As a Drake fan, there's nothing more you could ask for in a first-year head coach.
Second best team in the state right now. I mean, I mean, if you look at it, I mean, Drake and Iowa about drawing the same amount of people. Iowa's a little bit more, but you might have the second and third best teams in Iowa playing Wednesday night.
Yeah, honestly, I was teasing one of my buddies who went to that Minnesota-Iowa game, and I was like, oh, 7,000 people? That's a good day for Drake. Oh, it's Iowa City. That's a problem. And he was throwing trash back at me too. But, yeah, what's happening in Iowa City is wild, and I've never seen anything like that. But Drake, definitely, they're fun to watch. They're an easy team to cheer on, so definitely try to go to the Knapp Center at some point. And UNI, I mean, Titan Anderson is one of the best players in the state, and he just gets forgotten about because he plays for UNI. But that dude puts up 20 points consistently each night. He's built like a power forward, but plays guard. I mean, he is really fun to watch, and he's going to give Drake troubles on Wednesday, too.
Justin, UNI fans would point out that maybe for the last nearly decade, they've had one of the best players. I mean, you can go back to Bowen Bourne. They've had one of the best players in the state for quite a while on that roster, and it does seem like it kind of gets forgotten about until it doesn't. I mean, Green would fit into this category. They've had some really talented dudes. Jacobson does an amazing job of getting these talented kids and then coaching them up. And as you said, just getting that team better as the year goes on. We see that every year where in December we're wondering what's wrong with you and I, and by March, we're wondering who's going to have to run into you and I.
Exactly. And another player that Jacobson had that I was always a huge fan of was Seth Tuttle. Back in like 2013, he was at power forward. He was awesome. I think he's still on the coaching staff. But Titan Anderson just tied him for the only other player in UNI history to score over 1,000 points, haul in over 900 rebounds, and dish out over 500 assists in a career. So Titan Anderson definitely following that same trajectory as Seth Tuttle. But Jacobson's one of my favorite coaches. He was easy to interview, too. He is one of those guys that, his team could be 9-15, and you're still afraid of him.
Hey, real quick, because our friend Joe Woodley, that was another big announcement that happened, Trav, since the last time I've been able to chat with people. Joe Woodley goes on and wins a national title with Grandview. Of course, Coach Stepsis got the job at UNI, and then Coach Woodley moves, I hate to say moves across town, but kind of goes from Grandview to Drake. I'm really interested to talk to Coach Woodley about what that jump means and how his job is going to be different going from NAIA to non-scholarship NCAA. So, but your response to Joe Woodley being, or what's the response around Drake been with Joe?
I mean, how could you not be excited? All this dude does is win. Never lost a regular season game. I can't do that playing in like Madden. I can't do that.
You got to turn the difficulty level down. It's real easy if you turn it down to like the beginner settings. You can just roll people.
If I'm playing on rookie, I still find a way to lose. Too many turnovers.
Sloppy.
But
undisciplined.
No, he's just a certified win. He's just a winner. He's won multiple national titles. And then I like the people he's bringing in, too. He's grabbing people from Iowa State, grabbing people from Iowa to bring onto his coaching staff, which I think grabbing a guy from Iowa State is going to help with the transfer situation and the recruiting, because recruiting at Drake is going to be the real struggle. I don't think he's going to struggle with the competition and the coaching side of things, because he has proven it again and again that he's a great coach. But this is a new step for him with recruiting where you don't have scholarships to really give out. So that's going to be a big issue. And just how are you going to make Drake look intriguing to a lot of other people when other schools can offer money? So that's going to be the challenge. But I think he has the resume to put in front of someone and be like, if you want to come and play for someone who knows how to win, I have built a coaching staff, and I've been able to build a legacy that is built around just winning. And I think that's going to do enough to make Drake look really intriguing to people.
My big question is, are you still drawing unemployment from, you making the corporation pay the unemployment?
Oh, yeah, of course. So I got an unemployment meeting today to talk about resumes at 9. So that'll be fun.
All right, buddy. Hey, let's try the video thing on Wednesday, because we can do a preview of the Northern Iowa Drake game, and then see if people can see your ginger hair. Okay.
Ginger? Did you forget I have brown hair?
I think you're ginger.
It's been that long.
It was ginger every morning in my screen.
Oh,
it was?
You're going to be so blown away when you actually meet Justin for the first time. You're going to be so surprised.
I always thought he was a ginger. Look how pale he is. Looks like a ginger.
Okay. Hey, now.
Yeah.
No,
guy's got an unemployment meeting later today. I'm going to pile on him more.
When you go to the unemployment office, do you wear a suit? What do you wear to the unemployment office? Or are you in your typical hoodie?
Is there an actual line?
It's funny you think I go to an office. No, it's all through Zoom.
Oh, man.
So I sit there, I have a nice T-shirt on, and then, just wear pajamas underneath.
Just so you know,
you guys do every morning.
Travis literally envisioned you standing there with a suit on and your hat in hand. That's what he was envisioning.
No, not anything close to that at all.
Okay. All right,
it's me in sweatpants and a sweatshirt
Yeah, Travis had 1933 bread line that in mind. That's what he was thinking.
I mean, the people at the unemployment place, I mean, they've been great. They've been helping me try to find my special purpose.
Okay,
so this is awesome.
Your special purpose? That's my special purpose. I know you have to apply for. Hold on, but I know you have to apply for certain jobs at the unemployment. What's the weirdest job you've applied for since you got fired?
Good question.
No, actually, so all they ask is that you apply for 3 jobs each week, which I definitely apply for way more. But what's been really cool is I became friends with the NFL sports writer for the Seattle Seahawks named Malik, and through just Twitter. And he helped me find, there's a website that it's all just sports jobs. So like finding producer gigs with like Kansas City or, NFL teams, college teams. So I've been just on there trying to find different jobs that look interesting. And so, yeah, no, it's been like I heard Ross say when he got let go, like the outpouring of support that he felt, he wishes everyone could feel that. And while I don't want anyone to get fired, yes, it's like that support helped us tremendously because I don't know where I'd be without people like you guys, without my family. And then, of course, having like hundreds of people message me on Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff, and showing their support and being like, hey, I'm going to miss you in the mornings, and me being like, man, I didn't even realize I had that impact. I was just the producer. I was just pressing buttons is what it felt like at times. And so it made everything so much easier, and I really appreciate everyone.
All right, Justin, we'll try this again on Wednesday. Get the software downloaded, and so you can hook up with us. All right.
I will. I promise. I'll make it better.
All right. We'll talk to you on Wednesday.
See you guys.
See you, buddy.
Bye, buddy.
I remember when I was on unemployment, when I got fired in Wisconsin, I would apply for just the dumbest jobs in the world. Just the dumbest jobs in the world. But that's what happens.
That and Justin, I've had this conversation, but that appreciation for that reaching out that people did, man. This is what I would encourage people: tell other people that they do a good job.
Yes.
If you see somebody doing a good job, tell them, because man, that is such a support thing. It is 10,000 hands that carry you through the day when somebody does that for you.
Real quickly, we talked about Iowa State at Arizona tonight. That's going to be one hell of a game. And then you got Iowa's going to be at Ohio State. Hawks have played pretty well in Columbus. They've won the last 2 there, have a winning record there since 2014. It's just, if Iowa could put together 40 minutes, and I talked about this last week, if Iowa could put together 40 minutes of basketball, they're a pretty good basketball team. Unfortunately, they only put 20 to 15 minutes together a night.
And Trav, that's the apathy has set in. This is what it is. This is a tiger not changing its stripes. Like, this is what we're going to get. Inconsistent, maybe even undisciplined at times. And that kind of seems to be what Fran McCaffrey coach teams, especially these last few years, have been. So, it's what I expected, I guess. I don't know what else to say about it, man. It is hard. It's hard as a Hawkeye fan to not, what's the right word, man? I don't want to say not cheer for basketball, because that I certainly want the Hawkeyes to win. Every time they're on, I'm hoping the Hawkeyes win. I have a hard time verbalizing this feeling that I have when I'm watching Hawkeye basketball. Apathy, I think, is the closest word I can come to, where I kind of want to care, but I don't.
Yeah. And when that sets in, it's not good for anybody.
It's real hard to grab it back, man. It's real, and I do think it is. It's a top-down thing. I think if I have to put the blame on something, I put it on Fran. Is that fair? I don't know if it is or not, but that's where I'm landing.
All right, as we come to a close to our first show today, don't forget You can follow The Rush. If you're watching on YouTube right now, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you join our channel. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. A lot of people watching on Twitter today. You can follow us at Rush Mornings. And we do have a Facebook page out there. Go ahead and just search the Rush with Travis and Ross, and you'll be able to follow some of the content we put together. Also, just to let you know, you can listen all day long. If you missed any part of the show, go to therushladio.com. You'll see that listen live link up there. For the next 22 hours, this show is just going to be on replay. It's that simple. It's going to be on replay. You'll be good to go. And if you are one who likes to listen on podcast, give me a couple minutes, but I'll get it up there. And you can find it on Podbean. You can find it on Spotify. And yes, you can find it on iHeartRadio. Ross, can you believe it?
I can.
We're done. One day in the books, many more to come.
Flew by as I knew it would, Trav. Yes, first of many, my friend. First of many.
Yeah. You're 100% right. And there's Audrey saying goodbye. So this has been something new for Ross. It's something new for me. And all we can say is that we appreciate you taking the leap of faith with us. We understand that habits are hard to change, and going from terrestrial radio to internet radio is a completely different change, but we're going to be here each and every day. We're going to do the holidays. The nice thing is we can jump on, really, if breaking news happens, we can kind of jump on anytime we want, so just be ready for that. So for Ross Peterson, I'm Travis Justice. We will talk to you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. on The Rush, and visit therushladio.com.
Take a trip back in time to this 60s style corner tap, the High Life Lounge. The champagne of bars knows nostalgia and retro. Enjoy our famous roasted chicken, juicy, crispy, and delicious. Order up some deviled eggs with your favorite classic American beer like Pabst, Hams, or Old Milwaukee. High Life has delicious sandwiches, daily specials, casseroles, and all of the dishes like Mom used to make. A place to relax and catch up with old friends. The High Life Lounge, downtown Des Moines. If you got the time, we got the beer.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know, high quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.